Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. However, there seems to be some general consensus on what society deems attractive. Based on the reviewed literature, I will elaborate on how machine learning models predict facial beauty, how it can be connected to social media, and how it affects one's mental health. Are individuals with a higher facial beauty score more frequently recommended by the recommender systems of short-form video apps? To answer this, I would need to train a model to predict the score given a face, which would then be applied on short-form videos from platforms such as TikTok. Lastly, I need to interpret the results with its impact on society, especially mental health and body dysmorphia. As this topic covers both computing and public health, the papers were chosen like this. Firstly, two technical papers to get a grasp of current trends in the facial beauty prediction field. Secondly, two research papers to investigate the implications of social media on mental health. All papers are peer-reviewed from 2021 or newer and from journals such as Springer, Medical Internet Research, and MDPI. Let's dive into them. The research team tackles two issues in the field: limited training samples and a reliance on high-performance hardware. They suggest an approach using transfer learning and broad learning systems with efficient nets as backbones. This ERBLS architecture outperformed all previous approaches. Yet, some points remain unclear, such as the choice of the backbone. To conclude, this paper is very useful for my practicum due to training on a regular desktop with a short 40-minute training. The team behind this paper uses facial characteristics such as eye height to face length to train their models. However, these characteristics are extracted from a generated face using a generative adversarial network. These faces were taken from pictures of group photographs in an already labeled dataset. To determine the attractiveness of a face, a multilayer perceptron was used as well as a ResNet 50 model, which is a CNN approach. This approach does improve performances, but does not outperform already existing solutions, which the paper critically discusses among other issues in the domain. The GAN approach is a good idea for the practicum, as it can also be used to extract faces from short-form videos. The research team conducted a bibliometric study based on 565 papers that were published between 2016 and 2020. Based on a keyword co-occurrence network graph, the most common terms for mental health, ML techniques, and social media platforms were found. The authors conclude social media to be a space to address one's mental health issues. The findings are of limited use for the practicum due to trends revolving around textual data from Twitter instead of visual data from TikTok, and the mental health issues revolve around depression instead of dysmorphia. This study looked into associations between body image disorders when it comes to social media. It was conducted with over 1,300 participants, and the participants were recruited through social media ads, posters in gyms, or through doctors with patients who had eating disorders. The questionnaire included anything from general data over social media to a standardized screening for eating disorders. An association between the frequency of comparing one's own physical appearance to that of people followed on social media was found. The paper mentions that certain biases, such as a declaration bias, could have played a big role in the outcome, but doesn't mention that the GenPop data is skewed. This paper could help in the interpretation step after applying my model. I conclude, the first two papers helped in identifying trends and narrowing down the topic. The last ones gave some good insights, but there will be more research needed from my side.